Alright, so we're through some of the construction work that's going on, and we're back on the trail. We're headed east on our way to East Coast Park. Now the interesting thing about parks in Singapore is they're both city parks, but they're also national parks, because Singapore is a city, nation, state. Little tiny island, 740 square kilometers. It's about 30 miles long and about 15 to 20 miles from north to south. So it's not a very big place. It has one of the highest population densities of any city in the world, but they do a good job of separating the high density and still preserving public space. And this path that I'm on right now is a good example of that. Now we're about to go over an overhead bridge here. So it might get a little bit bumpy, bear with me. See the sign? No motorized vehicles. Well, we got a little exemption from that, so we're good to go with this. We're going uphill now, and below us on the left is a parking area. Trucks parked in the middle, trucks and buses, and then cars around the perimeter. And this is a busy construction road that they built this bridge over. I don't think it will be permanent, I'm not sure. But for now, while they're doing all the construction work on our right, they need this bridge for the movement of all the construction materials. You can see cement mixers, dump trucks, all manner of commercial equipment. And hey, here we go. Now we're going to go downhill. And this scooter doesn't have an engine brake in it, so there's nothing that holds it back when you go downhill. So you can either do two things. You can set a speed record, or you can just back off and let it find its own way. And of course the safest thing to do is what we're doing, just let it run its own way. We're doing 15 miles an hour. That's plenty fast. That's what it says, but I actually think we're going faster than that. Who knows? It's plenty. So here we are, and after we come down off the bridge, that brings us directly into East Coast Park. And you can see a bike rental place on our left. On our right, some joggers. And here we can see the roadway splits. And we're on the part for fast-moving traffic, bicycles and such. And over on our right, you can see the footprints there on the pavement. That's for pedestrian use. But some of the trees and vegetation here, you know, Singapore is very tropical, of course, so you see a lot of rainforest, these mangrove and other trees, quite amazing root structures. They also have quite a little bit of parasitic growth on them. If you look at this tree, see all the ferns growing out of it? And that's because that's a sign of a rainforest for sure. When you have enough moisture, that plants can literally grow, cannibalize, and grow out of other plants. So that's a good example. There is an expressway over on our left. You can probably see the traffic going by. That's all the expressways here go by 3 letters, and this one is ECP, East Coast Parkway, and this will take you east to the airport and whatnot. It's the connection between eastern Singapore and downtown. Lots of condominiums behind that. All these have a wonderful view of the ocean. The ocean will soon be coming into view. It's just through the trees on the right. And I think these are some type of a variation of a pine tree. They certainly look like pine trees. They have the needles of pine trees. you see them on sandy areas. And here we got what looks like a couple of beginning skateboarders. Excuse me, rollerbladers. We'll just go slowly around them. Definitely looks like a day rental, just learning. This is a Saturday afternoon. It's mid-January. You know, North America is having a record cold spell this week, and here we're sitting at a nice 30 degrees Celsius or so, around upper 80s on the Fahrenheit scale. And there is a really nice breeze because we're right beside the ocean. I keep promising you it's going to come into view. So let's just step on the throttle here and let's get there. Keep looking to the right. You're going to start seeing the ships. At any one time, apparently there's more than 500 ships just waiting to get loads in Singapore, and they sit out there and they're empty. And they have their crews on board, and of course they're burning some fuel at least just to generate power, electricity. But apparently there's so much excess capacity on the high seas that they just sit and wait. So now we can see the beginnings of the water on our right.